Friday night in Milwaukee, the start of the weekend and the start of another home series for Brewer fans. The Milwaukee Brewers set to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates here at Miller Park on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Starting pitchers, couple of right-handers going at it. James McDonald, who won 2 straight now, has given up only 2 earned runs over his last 3 games against Giovanni Gallardo, who was flirting with a no-no into the 8th inning of his last start at St. Louis. Hi, everybody. Craig Kashan back on Fox Sports Wisconsin with you here, and looking forward to the broadcast tonight. And Giovanni Gallardo facing the Pittsburgh Pirates in his career, well, this is just the perfect team for a follow-up gem of a performance. In his career, 6-2 in 10 starts with an ERA of just over 2. In fact, he was 3-0 a year ago and did not give up a single run against these Buccos from Pittsburgh as he helped the Brewers continue their dominance over this Central Division foe. Is Braun back? Big question tonight. The Brewers' all-star left fielder had to leave the last game with an ankle injury. Will they have his back in the lineup? We'll find out next.
Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. By AT&T. And brought to you by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Toyota territory at Miller Park. Friday night baseball, and it is a retro Friday here at Miller Park tonight. Friday the 13th, not so scary for the Milwaukee Brewers. Did you know the best record on Friday the 13th of all of the major league clubs? Your Milwaukee Brewers, 22-13. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. We're ready to get a series started with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Milwaukee coming off a series win against the San Diego Padres. Rock. News of the day, though, is Ryan Braun. He's back in the starting lineup after a scare on Wednesday and an injured ankle.
Yeah, you hold your breath every time you see this. He bangs into the wall out there in left field. He kind of caught his foot right under that wall out there, but he had to be taken out of the ball game, and that's never good news when you see Ryan Braun limping around. But he's back in that lineup, and his career against the Brewers has been, or against the Pirates has been very good, including 16 home runs.
symbolic of what the Brewers have done as a team against Pittsburgh. They are 22-2 against the Pirates here at Miller Park. It's been incredible domination over one team to the other.
And there's really no explanation to it, because a lot of the games that you see on these graphics, I mean, they were some pretty close games, but once in a while you're going to see one team really having the number of another. You get late in the ball game, one team realizes that they're playing a team they've had a tough time with. The Brewers play with a lot of confidence against this Pirates club. So hopefully the Brewers are going to be able to get back on track after a loss on Wednesday. So let's see what happens here against the Pirates.
Well, the Brewers are looking up at the Pirates in the National League Central Division standings. But Giovanni Gallardo, he's been great against Pittsburgh in the past. He was great in his last start in St. Louis. Gallardo and the Brewers against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And here comes Giovanni Gallardo leading the Brewers on the field here at Miller Park. We are set for Friday Night Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin. The Brewers and the Pirates. First of a 3-game series here. Pittsburgh at 18-19 on the season, just a game under 500. They had a game rained out last night against the Dodgers and their new manager Clint Hurdle. They played above expectations at this point. Here is the batting order for Clint Hurdle's Buccos. It is Andrew McCutchen, Jose Tabata, Garrett Jones at the top, Neil Walker, Pedro Alvarez, and Lyle Overbay in the middle, with Chris Schneider, Ronnie Cedeno, and James McDonald rounding it out.
And Giovanni Gallardo out on the mound here for the Brewers here at Miller Park to start this series. Very good his last time out against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Did not allow a run, only one base hit through 8 innings in a Brewers win.
And Gallardo ready to go. Andrew McCutchen leads off for Pittsburgh, swinging away at the first pitch. One man gone. Well, you've seen McGee over at third. Let's give you the rest of the Brewers defensively. In the outfield, it's Ryan Braun, Carlos Gomez, Corey Hart, McGee and Betancourt on the left side with Weeks and Fielder on the right. And the battery tonight, Jonathan Lucroy catching Giovanni Gallardo at Blaines Farm and Fleet. Brewers defense, Ryan Braun is back, injured and had to be pulled out of the game on Wednesday. A little bit of a scare. But as Ron Renicky stated earlier today, maybe just the way he hit that wall, no damage, at least the kind of damage that would keep him out of the lineup, and it's good to see him back in there.
Yeah, the Brewers can't afford to be without Ryan Braun for an extended period of time. Even a couple of days is too long.
Four-man umpiring crew tonight. Alfonso Marquez calling the balls and strikes. Ed Hickox, Chris Conroy, and the crew chief Brian Onora on the bases. Final 3 games of this homestand, and the Brewers head west as Tabata lines out. 2 gone in the inning. And Rock mentioned it. Let's take you back to last Saturday, Giovanni's last start, and it was one of the best of his career. He went 8 strong against St. Louis. Gave up just the 1 hit, and Rocky flirted with a no-hitter all the way to the bitter end.
Yeah, he was able to pound that strike zone. He walked 4 in the game, struck out 6. And as you mentioned, that base hit right back through the middle, the only blemish on the line for Giovanni.
He has had better games statistically, but when you figure where the Brewers were, remember they had lost 7 straight leading up to that game. Gallardo was facing the best hitting team in the National League. It was one of the most important starts of the season, and Gallardo pitched a dandy in St. Louis.
How many times have we said that about Gallardo, having to pitch in a must-win situation? Didn't get a whole lot of run support throughout most of the game, but hey, didn't give up any.
2 outs, and it's Garrett Jones, and this is going to be a nice easy inning for Gallardo. 7 pitches to get it started. A 3-up 3-down frame. Now the Brewers are coming to bat. In Milwaukee tonight on a Friday. Temperatures in the low 50s as we get underway tonight. Nice and comfortable inside Miller Park. And here is the starting lineup for the Milwaukee Brewers, turned in by Ron Renicky. It's brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Ricky Weeks, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun. You've got Fielder, McGee, and Hart in the middle. Corey Hart moving up to the 6th slot. And then the bottom 3, Betancourt, Lucroy, and Gallardo. And it's James McDonald on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates, a former Dodger. We saw him first as a Dodger, and now in his first full season as a Pirate. Traded to Pittsburgh a season ago. And Rock, he's pitching very well as of late, James McDonald.
Hey, he's given up only 2 runs in his last 3 appearances. That spans 18 innings, and it's all about throwing strikes. Only 3 walks, 13 strikeouts during that stretch.
Ricky Weeks coming in batting .288, has an on-base percentage of .356, and still hitting for power. 7 homers this season. 13 runs batted in. I think more than anything else, the Brewers would like to see some base runners for Ricky Weeks coming from the bottom of the order once the lineup turns around. Brewers have had a good homestand. It's been a frustrating homestand to some extent. They've won 2 out of 3 and a chance to make it a winning homestand. They're hoping to get themselves on a roll here with a team they have dominated over the last 3 years, the Pittsburgh Pirates. But the Pirates are a much different ball club these days under Clint Hurdle.
Yeah, he's got these guys believing in themselves, and they're off to a pretty good start. They're one game under 500 at 18-19. Their pitching's been pretty good. They're 7th in the National League in earned run average.
Former Brewer Lyle Overbay now the Pirates first baseman coming over from the Blue Jays. Weeks gets sawed off. He'll pull it foul. And that gives us a chance to set the Pirates defensively. Jose Tabata, Andrew McCutchen, and Garrett Jones in the outfield. Pedro Alvarez, Ronnie Cedeno, Neil Walker, and Lyle Overbay around the horn. And it's Chris Snyder doing the catching James McDonald. McDonald, a 2-0 record over his last 3, and opponents hitting just 190 against him over those last 3 starts. And he puts the fastball by Ricky Weeks. Our Nissan keys tonight on this pitcher comes from hitting coach Dale Swain.
Straight over the top. He throws a straight fastball anywhere from 92 to, he can get it to 96, stays about 94 for the most time, pitches away to right-handers and left-handers for that much. Big curveball, kind of his out pitch. He's going to go to when he's in trouble and 2 strikes. Will throw changeups to right-handers, doesn't have a slider. And to lefties, he's going to be pretty much away with fastballs, with predominantly more changeups. Really likes his fastball a lot to left-handers.
Well, you can't get much more specific than that. And the key to his success, we talked about his last 3 starts. He's been throwing his curveball and changeup for strikes.
And there was the changeup as Gomez pops it up. Pedro Alvarez wants it for the out. 2 gone in the first inning. And here comes Ryan Braun, and he tops the Powerball home run leaderboard to start play tonight. Braun with 10 homers. That is 2nd in the league. He is still trailing Soriano of the Cubs. Alfonso Soriano has 11 home runs this year.
Prince Fielder right behind Brawny with 8, hit number 200 in his career on Wednesday.
And it was a big one. At the time, it tied the ball game. It was a great comeback for Milwaukee. Answering a 5-0 deficit, came all the way back, took the lead, and then the Padres just unloaded on the Brewers bullpen in the 8th inning, scoring 8 runs, and San Diego getting out of here with 1 victory, but a series win for Milwaukee. And at this point, that's what they're looking for, trying to pick off series and continue their good play at home. Milwaukee is 10-6 at Miller Park this year. Two and nothing on Braun. And McDonald hits the corner for a strike. It's interesting, this matchup tonight. McDonald is a guy, as Dale Swain mentioned, he throws a lot of fastballs. The Brewers are a good fastball hitting team. McDonald gives up a lot of home runs. And of course, Milwaukee is a team that sometimes lives and dies by the home run.
Yeah, he's given up 6 home runs so far this year, and that's a lot when you consider he pitches quite a bit in Pittsburgh, and it's tough to hit him out of that ballpark.
McDonald has allowed 24 runs this season overall. 17 of those 24 have come via the home run ball. Braun bounces one over to first. Tough spin. That bounces off Overbay, and Braun will be safe.
Well, the defense has not been very good for the Pirates. 28th error committed by the Pirates. That's the 2nd or the 3rd most in the National League. And behind only St. Louis and Houston. Lyle Overbay ordinarily pretty short-handed over there at first base. funny spin on it. You can see Ryan just trying to put the ball in play, and Overbay let it play him. He should have either charged it or laid back a little bit. Took the in-between hop.
We'll see if the Brewers can take advantage. Fielder gets an at-bat against McDonald in the first with a man on. Now Prince with 8 home runs now, tied for 5th in the National League. He is 4th in the league in RBIs with 29. Trails Ryan Howard and Lance Berkman. Both of those players with 32 RBIs apiece. Fielder just 3 off the pace. Braun takes off. Throw to second is late, and Braun is in there with a stolen base.
Well, so much for any questions about the ankle for Ryan Braun. He didn't waste any time. Had a great jump. High leg kick. Brawny takes off first move and not even close at second base. That's good to see. Brawny feeling confident enough in that ankle to be able to steal second base.
He is 6 for 6 in stolen base opportunities this year, and immediately gets into scoring position for Fielder. Yeah, Prince just missed one on the bat. Pops it up to Cedeno. And the inning is over. 1 in the books. We head to the second from Miller Park. Miller Park on a Friday night. No score as we are underway tonight. And how about some of the defense on this homestand? A great play, maybe the play of the year with Betancourt and Weeks. Betancourt had another terrific play that same night. And then on Wednesday, Casey McGee turned in a beautiful play at third, while Ricky Weeks added one to his season-long reel. So the Brewers tightening up things defensively. They needed to. Milwaukee, for the better part of 3 weeks, were the best defensive club in the league statistically with the fewest errors. And then on that last road trip, things kind of fell apart. Milwaukee with 19 errors to start play today. It's about middle of the pack.
Yeah, things fell apart on that road trip more than just one area. I mean, nothing really went all that well, but it's good to see that the defense is back to what it was early in the year on this homestand.
Neil Walker rips one to right, a base hit. A good hitter here. This guy just starting to get his legs under him as a big leaguer. Pittsburgh native, and Walker has the first hit of the ball game.
This guy has done some damage against the Brewers. You saw him last year. He was red hot. The Brewers had that 2-game series in Pittsburgh, and Walker wasn't swinging the bat all that well. They got lucky in that 2-game series. 2 games because they got rained out one day. But he can hit.
And his favorite opponent at this point is the Milwaukee Brewers. He's hitting .353 lifetime against the Brew Crew in a small sample size. And from one prize prospect to another, here is Pedro Alvarez. Pittsburgh is banking on their young talent. For the last 6 years, they have had the top 4 picks in the draft, and that includes this year, which will be the #1 overall pick in the June draft. Pedro Alvarez was the #2 overall pick in 2008, and it was a quick rise to the big leagues for this third baseman.
Man, they've got some good young hitters on this ball club, and the more they're around, the more confidence they're going to get. Andrew McCutchen, one of the guys that they're banking on big time for the future of this organization. Not swinging the bat all that well right now.
No, Pirates management has allowed Clint Hurdle to put his own stamp on this team. And speaking of McCutchen, that has been the big news with the Pirates over the last couple of days. McCutchen was benched yesterday in a game that was rained out, but he was not hustling the night before on a pitch in the dirt, didn't run it out, and Hurdle sat him down for yesterday's game. And this was the play that cost Andrew McCutchen a start yesterday. It was a strike 3 and fired the bat away.
Didn't bother running and just kind of walked over to the dugout, and Clint Hurdle is trying to establish a sense of accountability. Everybody needs to hustle. It doesn't take any ability to hustle. He didn't do it, and he was out of the lineup. Of course, it was a rain out, but he's back in there today.
And he was apologetic. What was interesting was the reaction off of that, and Hurdle made it clear that we're going to do things the right way. As he said, running the bases and playing hard is non-negotiable.
And it should be with every club.
Right. You know, and McCutchen apologized for it, which was probably the best reaction that Pirates fans could have seen. He apologized, said, I deserve to be benched yesterday, and it won't happen again. He is the face of this Pirates franchise at this point. 2 balls and a strike on Alvarez. High and outside, 3-1 the count. It's the second time that Clint Hurdle has benched a player for not hustling. He did it to Ronnie Cedeno earlier this year. It's one thing to bench, you know, a hitter at the bottom of the lineup, but for the face of the franchise, it has to have some kind of impact across that clubhouse.
Yeah, short term could sacrifice a win perhaps on a given night, but long term, I guess it's going to help your club. He'll do the same to some of his pitchers too. If he doesn't feel as though a guy coming out of the bullpen is going to give an effort and throw strikes, take him out no matter who it is. Hey, on Sunday, May 22nd against the Rockies, all fans in attendance get a Casey McGee bobblehead courtesy of the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com for tickets.
That'll be on the next homestand. Had a nice visit earlier today, as you see the fans still on their way in. Casey McGee joined us for a sit down, our Brewers Live pregame show today. There's a strike from Gallardo. Early trouble here in the second for Giovanni.
I think Gallardo not used to having trouble against the Pirates. His last year against the Pirates, 3-0 and did not allow a run all season against Pittsburgh.
That covered 17 innings. Gallardo struck out 19 in those 17 innings. And he's hoping that trend continues in 2011. Lyle Overbay with 2 on, nobody out. Overbay has always enjoyed hitting here. He's been a doubles machine in his career, but he is off to a very slow start. Matter of fact, Overbay still owns the doubles record for a single season at 53 doubles back in 2004.
And a guy that uses left field very well. A lot of those doubles coming into left center, down the left field line. It's hard to believe that Overbay was only with the Brewers 2 years. It seemed like he was there longer than that.
Once the arrival of Prince Fielder was imminent, Overbay was shipped to Toronto. Two and two. Overbay hitting just .223, and he's hitting right in the middle of that Pirates order. Clint Hurdle's had trouble finding some production from the 4, 5, 6 hitters in his lineup. He's moved some parts around. He has Alvarez hitting 5th today, Overbay in the 6 hole. Just missed with a fastball.
Well, a tough pitch to take, but Overbay saw it was off the outside corner, and now it's a 3-2 count. Wow. Yep, a little off the outside.
You see Gallardo, according to Fox Tracks, staying away from Overbay here. 3-2 lifted in the air. Braun is back. This is playable. Walker's going to tag at second base, and he will stop. Braun gets off a good throw, the first out of the 2nd inning. A much needed out for Gallardo.
And Gallardo's best fastball at 93 miles an hour, and he threw it right down the middle for Overbay, and he was behind it. Good pitch. Good to see Yo trusting the fastball here tonight, at least early on. Wanted it away, but it ended up right down the middle, but enough on it velocity wise to get the out.
It's one thing hitters talk about with Gallardo's fastball. It just has that late life to it, that extra carry. It looks like it's headed into the dirt. On the low fastballs that he gets a lot of strikes on, still has enough finish to get by hitters like Overbay.
Late life, they call it. Yep.
Well, here is Chris Snyder, Pirates catcher. He returned to the roster when the Brewers saw the Pirates last back in April. Missed the first couple of weeks with a back injury. Brewers took the only 2 games they played in Pittsburgh. One of those games rained out and will be made up as a doubleheader in August. And that's been a continuing theme for the Pirates this year. They've lost 3 games due to rain, including one last night against Los Angeles. There's already been 22 rainouts in Major League Baseball this year. It already has passed last year's total.
The weather's been terrible this year. This has been a rough spring weather-wise. The Brewers have had 3 rainouts. Of course, they've made up 2 of them. It's going to turn around sometime, isn't it? You hope?
I hope so. Spring. They say spring is coming.
Nice yesterday for a while.
Yeah, good day yesterday. Good off day. There's a strike. Gallardo with a slider on the corner, and it's 2-2 on Snyder.
Chris Snyder, a pull hitter. You got Ricky Weeks right behind the bag at second. Pretty much straight away in the outfield, although Gomez is shaded toward left.
Snyder with a home run, 10 RBIs. 53 at-bats this year for Pittsburgh. Snyder does most of the catching. Ryan Domit considered the backup, but they share a lot of time behind the plate.
They're both swinging the bats pretty well. Snyder at 283, Domit at 292. Snyder, however, the better of the 2 defensively.
It's not a straight platoon. Domit is a switch hitter, so occasionally you'll see Snyder play against a right-handed starter like he is tonight. That one is hit in the air, right field, Hart on the run toward the wall, and that one is a foul ball but caught, and the runners will advance. That corner is hidden from our view here in the booth. Yeah, as Hart runs it down in the deep corner in right field.
Yeah, there's not much room down there between the foul line and the wall down there in right. First base umpire Ed Hickox calling the out. It was a foul ball. Corey able to get over there. And Gallardo and out away from getting out of this mess. A nice catch by Corey. And he's got to get it in quickly.
And that's who Bill and I look at. So we call it foul first, and then we wait to see if he caught it or not.
Well, the crowd will tell you if he caught it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it could be a great catch by a fan down there. There's always the fear of the unknown. Brock's not nearly as stressed as I am on plays like that.
No, I can wait.
So 2 men are out, second and third. And Gallardo a chance to get out of it here. Now Giovanni does have a base open at first, and the pitcher coming up next. We'll see how aggressive he will be on Ronnie Cedeno, who comes in batting just .212.
Yeah, looking to be pretty careful. I guess you why not just put him on, right? McDonald on deck, 1 for 12 this year. Cedeno pretty good in these spots with runners in scoring position, mainly because he doesn't strike out much.
And Gallardo staying away from him, and Cedeno not biting. So 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, why not just put him on, right? You get behind 2-0.
Yeah, the fear is you
make a mistake.
You throw one back to the screen and give up a run, or make a mistake, and Cedeno takes a hack, which he does on 3-0. And now it's 3-1.
Yeah, Yo threw him a cutter. Cedeno had the green light. Why not? Pitcher on deck. Not wanting to throw him a strike, but Cedeno couldn't hold up.
It's the worst pitch of the at bat, and on a 3-0 count, he's hacking. Some guys just get it in their mind on 3-0 that I'm swinging.
Yeah,
he's going to throw me a strike. We'll see what he does with him here. The 3-1. And another breaking ball, and Cedeno is aboard. So the bases are loaded, but the pitcher is coming up. Brewers trying to get Cedeno to get himself out. And now Gallardo will face James McDonald. Throws right-handed, but he bats lefty. And he actually used to be a position player in professional baseball back when he was a minor leaguer with the Dodgers. A couple of years he was a position player, as a matter of fact. But has just 1 hit in his career. He is 1 for 30. And that hit came earlier this season. Quick trip to the mound for Lucroy. Big spot early. Pirates have the pitcher at the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs. There's a strike. A slider on the back door. Neil Walker led this inning off with a single. Alvarez walked, and then Cedeno walked. Pirates had 2 on with nobody out. Gallardo with a chance to get out of it. 0-2. McDonald began his minor league career as a pitcher, but he had some elbow trouble. The Dodgers converted him to a position player, an outfielder. That didn't go so well, so he went back to the mound, and here he is in the big leagues as a pitcher.
Pretty good hack on a curveball, an 0-2 curveball by Gallardo, and almost hung it. You don't want to do that. Pretty good swing.
Another 0-2. With the high fastball, his best fastball of the game, McDonald lays off. Wow. That looked like a strike in every box you have.
It looked like every pitch that Gallardo has thrown in this at bat has been a strike.
I mean, you think James McDonald turns back to Alfonso Marquez and say, hey, make sure I get that pitch.
Man.
2-2. Gallardo with a 7-pitch first inning. This is pitch number 30 of the second inning. And a 2-2 pitch, and McDonald swings and misses. Gallardo works out of an early mess. Strands the bases loaded. A lot of pitches, though, in the second. Brewers coming to bat. Casey McGee will lead off. Scoreless game at Miller Park. FoxSportsWisconsin.com homepage, and win prizes in the new Fox Sports Wisconsin Fan Zone. From team merchandise and game tickets, unique fan experiences, tech toys, and more. And if you're not a member, you can join right now. It's fast and free, and it's all at the Fan Zone tab on FoxSportsWisconsin.com. Good crowd filing in on a Friday night, and McGee leads off against James McDonald. Best records at home versus a single opponent. The Brewers have dominated the Pirates like none other. How about 30 out of the last 33 going back to the 07 season?
Unbelievable.
It included a 17 consecutive game win streak at home.
And there's been a lot of different ways that the Brewers have beaten the Pirates throughout that stretch. Low scoring games, high scoring games, come from behind wins. And a lot of those games that we just showed you, I mean, they were pretty close games up until the end. Brewers have just figured out ways to beat them.
Brewers had a game where Giovanni Gallardo started, finished, and hit a home run for the game's only run.
Beat Ian Snell. Yep. It's one of those head scratchers nobody can figure out. Of course, the Pirates try and figure it out. The Brewers don't want to even think about it.
And certainly don't want to respond to it. 2-2 to Casey. Count goes full. Now McGee hoping to get it going today. We had a chance to talk to him on Brewers Live, and he's not too pleased about his season so far, but knows there's a long way to go. He's had his moments, and down he goes. Marquez. He's having a rough night behind the plate so far.
Yeah, ball looked like it was off the corner. A good take by Casey, and boy, that strike zone to James McDonald. Check this out. That's not a strike. That hadn't been a strike. Off the outside corner. Ball 4.
So McDonald with a backwards K. McGee thought he had earned the walk. And here is Corey Hart.
The only thing that players, ask of umpires behind home plate, be consistent. Be consistent for both clubs. If you're going to call it tight on the corners, keep it that way.
Now Corey Hart still looking for his first home run of the year. Starting to put together some good at-bats. He's starting to feel better about his pitch selection and his timing at the plate. Oh, big curveball got him. So a good pitch from McDonald. Breaks out the big hammer for back-to-back Ks.
He threw all three of his pitches to Corey in that at bat. He threw a changeup that Corey swung through, and that's a yellow hammer right there. That's a nice curveball.
Well, we talked about how McDonald is settling in as of late. You see his first 4 starts, an ERA over 10. But in his last 3, not only is he limiting his hits, but check the strikeouts out.
Yeah.
8 Ks per 9 innings.
Walks down, strikeouts up. He had a 3-start stretch where he allowed 19 earned runs. That'll play havoc on an earned run average.
Came to the Pirates in the Octavio Dotel trade that sent Dotel to Los Angeles a year ago. And McDonald went to the minor leagues, went to AAA, showed he could be an effective starter there. And then he gets a chance this year to be in the starting rotation. Starting to make the most of it. He's just 26 years of age. Betancourt, right center. McCutchen is over. He wants it, and he's got it for the out. 3 up, 3 down inning for McDonald. Is presented by is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Subway. Try our $5 featured footlong of the month. Subway, where winners eat. Yeah, there are a few winners right there. Having a little dinner at beautiful Miller Park. And the Nice Club, always a great spot to come and have a little dinner before the game. And what a great facility it is up there, the Nice Stadium Club. If you
Great
ever
food.
Have a big group and you want to enjoy a little fine dining experience at the ballpark, that's a good spot for you. Top of the order for Gallardo here. Andrew McCutchen leads off. McCutchen labored in the, or rather Gallardo labored in the second inning, stranding the bases loaded. McCutchen saw one pitch to start this game. He hit a hot ground ball over to McGee for the first out. He has not been swinging the bat well this season. McCutchen hitting at .234, but he does have 7 home runs. So when he's hit for power from that leadoff spot.
And they need him to get going. I mean, when the Brewers were in Pittsburgh, McCutchen was batting in the number 3 spot. Like a lot of teams, having a tough time figuring out who their leadoff hitter is going to be. It's all about on-base percentage. McCutcheon doesn't have it right now.
Bouncing ball to Betancourt. Got to hurry here. And he just gets the speedy McCutcheon for out number 1. Fox Sports Wisconsin Outdoors showcases the ultimate in outdoor programming. Every Saturday and Sunday morning, you can experience everything from the pursuit of fish and game to exploring the best weekend destinations. Fox Sports Wisconsin Outdoors presented by Menards. Saturdays at 6, Sundays at 8 a.m. only on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Here is Jose Tabata. Tabata hit a line drive out his first time up. Whistled one over to Prince Fielder at first base. This was the guy who was on fire when the Brewers saw the Pirates in April, but he has struggled mightily. Tabata did have a hit on Tuesday night, but just 2 hits in his last 16 at-bats. He's been nursing a hamstring injury.
Yeah, not many of the Pirates right now swinging a bat. Neil Walker's swinging it pretty good. The Pirates as a club 13th in batting average, 14th in runs scored. They're hanging in there at 1 game under 500 largely because of their pitching. Pitching is 7th in the league in earned run average.
And their pitching is set to improve as well. Evan Meek is a big part of their bullpen. He threw a side session today for the Pirates, expecting to go on a rehab tomorrow. So the next time the Brewers see the Pirates, likely to see Meek as Gallardo walks Tabata. A 1-out walk, and Gallardo has already issued 3 free passes today.
That ratio not very good for Gallardo as we have 1 out in the 3rd inning, 48 pitches already.
Had a 7-pitch first inning. Went over 30 pitches in inning number 2.
After a very short start on Wednesday against the Pirates, Randy Wolf. So you saw the look of concern in the face of Rich Kranitz. Need some innings out of Yo tonight.
The Brewers are carrying 8 relievers right now, but it's basically 7 because Brandon Kinsler is unavailable tonight. He had an MRI on his elbow, and although it showed no structural damage, Kinsler is still feeling pain in that elbow and is not available to Ron Renicky tonight, according to the manager. Runner takes off. Gallardo steps off, and now they've got him in a rundown. Fielder to Betancourt, and the tag. Oh no, he said he didn't get him. Chris Conroy says he didn't get him, and here comes Ron Renicky.
Well, it's about as automatic as it gets as far as a safer out call in a play like that. If it's close, ordinarily you're going to get the out call. Yep, he got him. Wow. I mean, he's not even close. Well, now he's going to go over and ask for help.
And Chris Conroy will
see if Ed Hickok saw it a little bit differently.
Crew chief here is Brian O'Nora, who enters the conversation.
Ordinarily, if you're out by that much, they're going to call you out. I mean, he was nowhere near second base when that swipe tag was made. Looked like he got him on the jersey. But he called him safe. And it looks like it's going to stay that way. Watch the jersey. See the jersey ruffle?
Clearly out.
Yep, clearly out. And look how far he is from second base. Come on. Trying to reinvent the game out there.
goes against Milwaukee. Tabata will end up at second base.
Well, I guess you call that a stolen base.
Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah.
So Gallardo will work with a runner at second and one man out. They never claim that the umpire's job is an easy one, but it seems like you're looking for something that's not there.
That's automatic.
When you see a play like that.
I mean, that's automatic. I mean, the guy's out by a country mile. No excuse to call him safe.
Gallardo has to go to work against Garrett Jones. Breaking ball from Gallardo. 2-2 on Jones. Jones second on the club with 6 homers. He's right behind McCutchen, who has 7. He's been swinging the bat much better since the Brewers saw Pittsburgh last back in April. Boy, that one didn't miss by much either. Full count. Brewers are feeling like everything is going against them here to start this game.
Yep, Ron Renicky giving it to Alfonso Marquez. He's saying call it both ways. And you rung up Casey McGee on a pitch away.
Manager is probably one more call from getting tossed in this game, I would imagine, as a fly ball goes to left. Braun is over to track it down, and that is out number 2. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text the broadcast question: will we ever see replay challenges in Major League Baseball? Lance and Monroe, and
they're talking about it.
Yeah, I think that day's coming, and that could be the kind of call that would be reversed. I think you might see it in the postseason with all of the different camera angles.
Yep.
But they've discussed it. The commissioner has a board that comes together, a committee that includes former players, managers, front office personnel, and they discuss everything. And as the commissioner stated, it's all up for discussion.
I just hope it doesn't get out of hand. I mean, you have any idea how long these games would be if you have replays for every questionable call? Safe and out, traps in the outfield, fair or foul.
Runner at second with 2 outs. Neil Walker at the plate. He's been one of the Pirates' best hitters. Average wise, he is the best hitter in the lineup tonight. Singled off Gallardo in the second. Tabata has good wheels. He should score on a base hit. Bouncing ball. Tough hop for Weeks. And the inning is over. He just got Walker. So Gallardo pitches around it. Still scoreless, the Brewers coming back.
Register your kids ages 8 to 16 for the chance to lead the Sunday post-game Great Clips base run at Miller Park. Visit participating area Great Clip salons for details.
James McDonald back on the mound for Pittsburgh. Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the third inning, and it's Lucroy to lead off. Lucroy, Gallardo, and then back to the top of the order, Ricky Weeks. Did you have a good off day yesterday, partner?
I did. It was nice and warm, wasn't it? A little humidity. Good to get a little bit of a sweat going.
Is the boat in the water yet at this point?
No, it's not.
That's too bad.
Piers are going in tomorrow, I guess, if the weather is right. So the fish are still safe on the lake for the time being.
Yeah.
Not long, though.
They're skirting around. They're starting to, they're feeling that calm before the storm, the Bill Schroeder storm that's about to be unveiled on them.
They're showing off a bit, jumping right in front of me. I said, your time's coming.
Brewers have a pretty tough little run through the schedule despite a number of home games as Lucroy into deep left field. That is way back. And it is up and out of here. Jonathan Lucroy with a home run. His second of the year. 1-0 Milwaukee as Lucroy leads off the third inning with a solo shot.
Yep, got himself in a fastball count. You talk about McDonald giving up home runs, and the main reason, puts himself in a definite fastball count straight as a string. Not much movement on that fastball. You can see Jonathan gets good extension and drives it out of here on the line. A bullet out of here to left.
So Lucroy gives Milwaukee the lead, and Gallardo a big hack fouls it away. Starting to look more and more like Lucroy, at least at the big league level, is going to be a low ball hitter. He drives the ball down in the strike zone, kind of like a left-handed hitter.
Yep.
from the right side, which you don't see very often. You don't see many right-handed hitters hit the low ball.
Yeah, that dominant hand, the right hand, is why most right-handed batters are good high ball hitters. Their dominant hands on top. But high pitches in the zone. Lucroy, he does a pretty good job fighting him off to right field. But you're right, the pitches that he drives and drives hard to left are normally down in the zone.
0-2 to Gallardo. Well, Lucroy has been such a good hitter at the bottom of the order. There's been a lot of talk about moving Lucroy perhaps into the 2-hole. And Ron Renicky acknowledges that he could be a good 2-hitter. Certainly, as Gallardo trying to leg one out. Here's a play, and it is not in time. A great play by Alvarez, but Gallardo hustling, sniffing the hit, beats it down the line.
Yeah, I thought he was going to let it try and see if it was going to go foul, but Alvarez made a heck of a play to make it close. Gallardo running as fast as he can down that line, the swinging bunt. A curveball. Watch Alvarez. That ball would not have gone foul, so a nice play by Alvarez to make it close at first base. And a good pick by Overbay. That could have been a lot worse for the Pirates. Bang, bang play goes this time in the favor of the Brewers.
And now a man on for Ricky Weeks, and a big cut and a miss. Getting back to Lucroy, though, the reason Renicky has kept him in the 8 spot, first of all, he's having a lot of success there, and it's not an easy spot in the batting order, especially in the National League. You need a good hitter in that role, somebody who can work the strike zone, go deep into counts, clear the pitcher when you can. I think if Ricky Weeks isn't the leadoff hitter, a bona fide run producer, you probably see Renicky move Lucroy up higher in the lineup, but he wants base runners for Weeks to take advantage of his power and his run producing ability.
Yeah, Lucroy doing a pretty good job right now, and probably the toughest spot in the batting order in the National League, in the number 8 spot right in front of the pitcher. The one thing that kind of what keeps you from doing that with Lucroy is his speed. He's not much of a runner. You don't want to be clogging the bases with Braun and Fielder coming up. But again, I mean, his on-base percentage is over 370. A little bit of that has to do with the fact that, you know, pitchers are going to pitch around him a bit.
Down the line, that's a fair ball. Takes a good bounce toward Tabata, and that may have cost the Brewers a run. Gallardo ends up at third. Ricky Weeks with a double. Just snuck it inside the line.
That looked like a changeup. This time Ricky able to wait back long enough and shoot it down that third base line. Giovanni Gallardo able to get all the way around to third base, of course. So the Brewers with a potential huge inning in the third. Still nobody out.
How about the dancing steps of Brian O'Nora down there, the crew chief, avoiding that hot shot, making the fair call.
Twinkle toes down there.
He had a little twinkle toes to him, didn't he? Nice going, Brian. Well, a meeting at the mound, that gives us a chance at our carsoup.com email the booth question. Nick in Kimberly wants to know. Not Kimberly and Nick, but Nick and Kimberly. Rock, did you play against any teams that you always had success against, or that always seemed to have success against your team?
Well, you know, I was never on a team. I don't think there were too many players that have ever been on a team that, you know, has been a part of what the Brewers have been dealing with the Pirates. And again, it's nothing that the Brewers, you know, players want to talk about. It's just one of those things. I remember there was a stretch where the Brewers, when I was playing, handled the Orioles pretty well. But nothing like this.
Chance for Gomez with runners at second and third. And a good block behind the plate by Snyder. Well, the Brewers could use a big strike here. The first three batters have reached. Lucroy homered. An infield hit by Gallardo, and Weeks a double. Excuse me, swing from Gomez.
And a fastball right down the middle. Way behind that pitch.
Talked about the 17 consecutive wins for Milwaukee against the Pirates here at Miller Park. Then Pittsburgh beat them. The Brewers have won 6 in a row now. The current streak at 6. And they'd love to keep it going over this 3-game series. And I think what's encouraging for Milwaukee, Gallardo tonight, Narveson tomorrow, and then Zach Greinke on Sunday. Greinke makes his third start for the Brewers. The 2-1 in the dirt. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, 2-ball, 1-strike changeup. There's Greinke. I'm sorry. A changeup on a 2-1 count with Braun on deck. That's a head scratcher.
See what he gives him here. You figure he's going to get a strike. Oh, he got one and he swung right through it. 94 miles an hour with a fastball. That's the swing that Dale Swaim's been trying to get out of Gomez's repertoire right there.
That uppercut. Wants him to go down and through, start on top, get on top of that pitch.
Got him. Gomez strikes out. Had it in a hitter's count. And McDonald with a couple of fastballs right by him for the first out of the inning.
He's got good velocity, but pretty straight right down the middle. And Gomez with the big swing comes up empty. You can see the uppercut swing. That's what Dale has been trying to avoid.
And there's the other side of the argument about the 2-hole and who to put in that spot. So 1 gone. Second and third for the Brewers with Braun at the plate. He reached on an error his last time up. Almost hit him. Braun showed right away that his ankle was healthy again. Banged up his ankle against the wall on Wednesday, had to come out of the game. But he reached in the first on an error, then he stole second. That's a hot one. Alvarez has it and looks Weeks back. Weeks in a rundown. Braun, there's nobody at second base as Weeks is tagged out. And those two coming together a little bit, Cedeno and Ricky Weeks.
Well, Cedeno didn't like the fact that Ricky kind of bumped into him as he made the tag.
And the benches will clear here.
Cedeno chirping a little bit. I wouldn't want to tangle with Ricky Weeks.
Here come the bullpens. The delayed bullpen clearing. Which usually ends up as just a long jog.
Hey, Ronnie Cedeno just still out there chirping about something. I guess you're not supposed to be able to make any contact when the guy is very politely making a tag on you. And Cedeno shaking his head like, what's he doing? Nothing wrong with what Ricky Weeks did there.
So the umpires send everybody back to the dugouts and the bullpens. And let's take another look at this play.
Ricky started to turn around. Cedeno tagged him, and you're not allowed to touch me. I'm not sure what the umpires are getting together on. It's a run in for the Brewers. Ricky right now changing directions. He's trying to spin out of the way. Cedeno and Ricky went the same direction. That's all that happened there. Ricky was trying to spin out of the way. They ran into each other, and Ronnie Cedeno took exception to it. Check it out. Watch Ricky spin, trying to avoid the tag, and he runs into Cedeno. I'm not sure what the problem is there for Ronnie Cedeno.
Not much ado about nothing, as it turns out. Braun reaches on a fielder's choice. He drives in a run. It's 2-0. The bigger picture play was the fact that there was nobody on second base for the Pirates. There was nobody at the bag. Braun could have easily taken second. But the way the Brewers have been running the bases lately, I think he wanted to play it as cautiously as possible with fielder coming up.
I'm not exactly sure what the discussion is with Clint Hurdle and the third base umpire Brian O'Nora. You know, the umpires got together. I'm not sure what it was all about. Clint Hurdle not happy. Ronnie Cedeno not happy. The Brewers have a run on the board.
All right, so fielder is up with 2 away. 2 runs in. Braun with a stolen base in the first inning. He is 6 for 6 this year in stolen base attempts. Pirates put a big shift on. You see Neil Walker way out there in the grass in shallow right field against Prince.
No, I guess the only thing that Clint Hurdle was trying to argue, he was maybe trying to argue interference on Ricky Weeks. If that was the case, then he would have sent the runner back to third base. I guess that's the only thing that they were discussing. Interference is a dead ball. Runners have to return to their previous bases. He did not get his way.
You could respect him for making that request, but there's no way that that was
problem is
interference.
The run scored long before that tag was made on the rundown. Had Ryan Braun maybe cruised into second base and they called interference, then he would have had to send Ryan back to first. Who knows?
Added a little spice
Yeah.
To the early innings here tonight.
Ronnie Cedeno didn't appreciate the aggressive nature of the Brewers baseball. More interested in the country club atmosphere that baseball sometimes shows.
Braun takes off on a 3-0 pitch, and that's ball 4. All right, so the Brewers with 2 on. Casey McGee coming up. By the way, if you weren't with us Wednesday, we weren't here, but if you weren't following the Brewers Wednesday, career home run number 200 for Prince Fielder. And he was able to get the baseball back. It cost him an autographed bat. But Fielder a milestone home run on Wednesday, and he has walked on 4 straight here in the 3rd inning. 2 on for McGee. A couple of runs are in. Had a good cut. McGee called out on strikes in the 2nd inning.
Good life on this fastball by McDonald. I mean, 94 right down the middle, and Casey comes up empty. That's a good fastball. You could see that when he gets that curveball over, how tough he could be. He's got good stuff.
Gave up 3 straight hits to start the inning. 3 hits and a walk. Spinner misses high. 2 balls and a strike on McGee. 17 RBIs this year. A base hit should score Braun. He'll be running on the crack of the bat. And a pickoff play at second. Braun is back. They have paid a lot of attention to Ryan Braun, much to the chagrin of Brewers fans.
He's trying to keep him close in the event of that base hit you were talking about.
And Braun takes off, and McGee takes a ball. An easy steal for Braun.
Yeah, very slow to home plate. Really not paying a whole lot of attention to him. He made the obligatory, throw to second a pitch before, and pretty smart on Brawny. Taking off. Big high leg kick, and look at how far Braun gets before Snyder even has the baseball.
Well, the old adage in baseball, never make the 3rd out at third base. If you're going to run, you have to know you're going to make it. Braun certainly did without a throw. His 2nd steal today. Now the 3-1. McGee had another good cut, but he fouls it back. So Braun now with 7 stolen bases on the season.
What sprained ankle?
Exactly. I was just thinking the same thing. So much concern about his ankle. He's running wild tonight. Another 3-2 count on McGee. Prince takes off. A swing and a miss. Actually, the ball's dropped, and Casey is out as the strikeout is secured at first. Inning over, the Brewers strand 2, but they get 2, and it starts with Jonathan Lucroy. He goes deep to lead off the 3rd inning. In Milwaukee, a cool, windy Friday night. Some rain in the forecast. And an almost confrontation between Weeks and Ronnie Cedeno on the rundown. Got him charged up a little bit. Got the benches cleared. The bullpens cleared.
Yeah.
Nothing else happened.
Well, both bullpens got a little run in. They're loose.
Yeah.
You know my theory on the bullpen thing, don't you?
What's that?
I mean, I've told you many times. I mean, why bother running in? Why don't you just go right across over the wall and start duking it out in center field?
Right. The Brewers are up a man, too. So very rarely does anybody duke it out in baseball. I mean, it's mostly a lot of standing around and, if at the very least, put your face in somebody's back so you don't get sucker punched. But it's bench clearing situations are always fascinating.
There's only two guys that are upset, you know, right? I mean, the guy gets hit, it's the pitcher and the hitter.
Two guys and Prince Fielder. That's usually how it ends up.
But I mean, in this case, it was Cedeno and Weeks, right?
Right.
Do what hockey does. Let them go at it.
Clear them out.
And keep everybody else out of the way.
It's not good for the children, right? As Gallardo goes up the ladder to strike out Pedro Alvarez. And the second strikeout is quite a delayed reaction by the Brewers and Pirates bullpens. Wait a minute.
Who we got here?
Yeah.
Who we got?
One shin guard on. Oh,
there's
here
one.
comes somebody.
Who we got?
Somebody was in the bathroom probably. Hey, where's everybody at?
Bullpen's empty.
Guy's got one shin guard on. He's running out there. It's pretty funny, really, when you get right down to it.
Yeah.
But you know, in the minor leagues, and this started back in the 90s, they created this anti-violence policy in the minor leagues. And it has changed the landscape of what you see in the big leagues as far as bench clearing brawls and bench clearing situations. You know, in the minor leagues, depending on what level you are, A ball, AA, and AAA, the fines are appropriate to the level. But if you leave the bench, if you just leave the bench, it's a fine. That one goes right past Ricky Weeks, almost hit him. As Lyle Overbay sends one to right center for a base hit. And we check in with Telly Hughes.
Well, BA, it's time for our Chrysler game reset. James McDonald with 3 punch-outs in the first couple of innings, but he will run into trouble in the third. Giovanni Gallardo has labored a little, but he's only given up 1 hit, well, 2 now. But in the bottom of the third, Jonathan Lucroy solo home run to put the Brewers on the board. His second on the season, and Ryan Braun was driving a run on a fielder's choice to make it a 2-0 game here in the top of the fourth. BA?
All right, Telly, thanks. Couple of runs on 3 hits for the Brewers, and all 3 hits coming in order last inning. Snyder with a runner at first. Brewers had the big shift on with a right-handed batter, creating an interesting scenario for a double play possibility. But at this point of the season, something the Brewers middle infielders have worked on a great deal.
Yeah, it's pretty much standard practice right now. Early in the year was a bit of a challenge, but everybody's used to it at this point.
Just getting back to the benches clearing, though, I think that anti-violence policy has changed the culture. I mean, most of these players have come up with, you know, extended time in the minor leagues, and you don't see it very often in the minor leagues. Unlike in your day when you played, and benches cleared a lot more frequently.
It's like the wild, wild west. Is that what you're saying?
It's kind of like that, wasn't it?
Well, there weren't the fines and the suspensions that are automatic back then that there is now. You know, I mean, you get involved in a pushing incident or you sucker punch somebody. I mean, you're going to be. Which is a good thing. I mean, you can't be sucker punching people in a situation like that. But you know, the rules weren't as strict back in the old days. We're talking about the 80s now, not the old days.
Way back in the 80s.
You know, pitchers that hit a batter, you know, you get involved in those types of things. There weren't the suspensions and the huge fines that there are now.
I think what's funny is you don't, because of the minor league culture, I don't think a lot of guys really know what to do in a bench clearing situation. It's like the bullpens. came in so late as Gallardo strikes out Chris Snyder. That's the second strikeout of the inning for Gallardo and his third of the game.
Well, doing a nice job. Look at Lucroy. That's that cut fastball, the slider, whatever you want to call it, the slider. Down and away, Snyder can't hold up. Good pitch.
Well spotted. And now 2 gone for Ronnie Cedeno. Count evens at 1-1. Cedeno starting the disagreement. He and Weeks colliding on a rundown. That one is hit in the air left center. Pretty well hit. Braun is on the run, and that ball is going to be gone. 2-run home run for Ronnie Cedeno. Just like that, we're all tied up.
Yep, on a hanging curveball with a pitcher on deck. Well, you know, Gallardo tried to spike that curveball, keep it down in the zone, maybe tried to overthrow it a little bit. Check it out, just hanging up there, and Ronnie Cedeno, not known for his power, hitting at 212, able to ride one out of here. And the advantage for the Pirates to be on the road. That's a can of corn in Pittsburgh.
That is Cedeno's first home run of the season. And the last guy Brewers fans wanted to see have some success. There's a strike to McDonald. It's 1-2. McDonald was at the plate with the bases loaded in the second inning. Gallardo struck him out. There's a good breaking ball. Count evens at 2-2.
When was the last time that Yovani Gallardo gave up a run to the Pirates? Well, those 2 runs right there. Didn't give up a run all last year against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, got to go back to the 09 season.
Wow.
Gallardo went 17 innings last year against Pittsburgh and 3 starts without giving up a run.
Yep, 3 innings today. There's 20. 20 straight without a run.
Full count to McDonald. Big chopper out to Weeks. And the side retired, but not before the Pirates get a little redemption from their shortstop, Ronnie Cedeno. A 2-run homer, and we're all tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Fourth inning. Yesterday afternoon, the Brewers and the Milwaukee Braves Historical Association inducted the late Joe Adcock and Frank Torrey into the Milwaukee Braves Honor Roll. Adcock played 17 seasons in the majors, 10 with the Braves. He was a member of the '57 World Championship team. Frank Torrey spent 5 of his 7 seasons playing for the Braves, including the pennant-winning season of '57 and '58. Of course, he is the older brother of Joe Torrey. So that was a great moment here on an off day for the players, not an off day for the Milwaukee Braves Historical Association. They do a great job. Bob Uecker was inducted into that honor roll a couple of seasons ago as Hart sends one deep left center field. That is way back and bouncing off the wall. Extra bases for Corey Hart. A leadoff double.
Man, they got to get Corey Hart going. There's no doubt about that. He's one of the big keys to this offense this year. Third double already for Hart. Huge season last year. And McDonald trying to sneak a fastball by him. Nothing doing, says Corey Hart. And one hops the ball out there in left center.
So a leadoff double for Milwaukee and a chance for Betancourt to drive in a run. 2-2 ball game. The Brewers scored 2 in the third as Betancourt rolls one over to Alvarez. And a double whammy there. It's an out, and it does not advance Corey Hart.
Yeah, it looked like a changeup. 81 miles an hour. Betancourt, notorious first pitch hitter. Way out in front of the changeup.
Well, here's Lucroy now. Lucroy homered his last time up, took a low fastball and ripped it out of here to left field. Has the highest batting average on the club, hitting at .333. 2 homers now, 11 runs batted in. Starting the third inning, Lucroy got a pitching at handle.
Down and in. Dropped the head of the bat on it and snuck it over that left field fence. Number 2 of the year for Jonathan.
Both of his home runs have come to left. We'll see if Lucroy stays hot. Got a chance at an RBI here. Corey Hart has 1 stolen base attempt this year. Was unsuccessful. See Neil Walker hovering close to the bag at second, keeping Hart close. McDonald mixing it up a little bit on Lucroy this time around. Some breaking balls, a change up there. That's the benefit of having a pitcher who can handle the bat in Gallardo. You work around the 8th place hitter. Gallardo's a guy who can do some damage. There's a strike, 3-1.
Yeah, especially if he gets himself into a fastball count. Jochen Center on a pretty good fastball when he's looking for it.
Lucroy's been swinging a hot bat from the time he arrived to Milwaukee this year. Actually made his season debut in Pittsburgh. Missed the first 10 days of the season. A broken right pinky finger.
And didn't have that many at bats down in the minor leagues to get ready. And came out swinging it pretty well.
Lucroy just 11 at bats in the minor leagues in his 4 rehab games. Started the season with a 9-game hitting streak. Back on a hot streak now. Hart Starts, stops, now a throw to second, and Hart is just back.
Wow. Good throw gets him.
They had him dead to rights.
Yeah, Brewers trying to run on James McDonald tonight. Ryan Braun has already got him twice. The old reverse move, and if that throw is on the money, Corey's an easy out.
Well, that's a thing for a pitcher. You know, if you're going to make the inside move like that, be ready to throw the ball. McDonald wasn't. Hart gets back. And Lucroy takes ball 4. So a big break for Milwaukee. 2 on for Gallardo. How about some AT&T trivia tonight? Before Prince Fielder, who was the last Brewers player to start opening day at first base?
Do you have any guesses?
Oh yeah. I feel pretty confident about this one.
Do you? Well, the Pirates expecting a bunt from Gallardo.
What do you do here if you're Ron Renicky?
Drop down a bunt.
So conservative in your old age.
Bunt him over, get Ricky Weeks to the plate with a couple of men in scoring position.
I'm saying let him hack. Let him hit one out of here.
Yeah, I'll go for a home run. You betcha.
See what he does.
He wasn't squared around.
No, McDonald pulled an inside move, maybe if nothing else, just to see. One thing about Gallardo is, as well as he hits for a pitcher, he's not the best bunter. Takes a strike.
Well, Ron Renicky figured, no, I'm going to take 2 hacks at it to drive in a run as opposed to chopping down a bunt. And maybe not all that comfortable with Yo's ability to get it down.
Well, the fear here is a double play that would end the inning. And now Gallardo squares. Now he pulls it back and he takes a rip. And it's 0-2. Similar to what we saw with Zach Greinke, although Greinke did it with 2 strikes. The Butcher Boy play, pulled the bat back, actually got his first hit in the National League. Which was very well analyzed by Bill Schroeder and Davey Nelson on the postgame instructional that night. Gallardo back up the middle. There's a base hit. Here comes Hart. And he will score. McCutchen bobbles in center field. Giovanni Gallardo delivers. The Brewers take the lead on an RBI single from their pitcher.
No, like I said, let him swing away and drive in a run, right? And the last thing you want to have happen in a situation like that is have your pitcher ground into a double play. Gallardo got a hanging curveball from McDonald and bounced it right back through the middle. Well, perhaps infield for the Pirates looking for bunt, a little bit shallow, not able to get there, and Yo's 2 for 2.
3rd RBI of the season for Gallardo. He gives the Brewers the lead. And now the Brewers can hope for a big inning. Now Weeks is up with 2 on. High and tight. Close shave in there on Ricky Weeks. Adding a little more spice to the pot.
Yeah, Snyder's setting up outside, and McDonald missed badly.
Well, the Brewers have been trying to get runners on base for weeks. It has been one of the most talked about discussions about the lineup, turning the lineup over, especially during the road trip when the Brewers dropped 7 in a row. The Brewers were not hitting at all. Ron Renicky and Prince Fielder. in a hitting discussion. Most certainly. Big spot here. 2 balls, no strikes on Ricky Weeks. He chased one and he fouls it away. Weeks had a double to left field just down the line in the 3rd inning. Lays off a breaking ball, 3-1. Jose Escanio for Pittsburgh getting ready, and Clint Hurdle is going to send his infielders over to buy him a little time, perhaps.
Yep, with the rain out for the Pirates yesterday, their bullpen is probably in better shape than it would have been had they played yesterday. The Brewers had a team day off yesterday, so I guess both of these bullpens in pretty good shape. A little bit early for Clint Hurdle, though, to have his relievers get involved in this one.
Lucroy at second. He walked. Gallardo at first. There's 3-2. McDonald came back with a fastball there.
And one of his best at 95 miles an hour. So he's still got plenty in the tank. But he's had a tough time getting ahead in the count.
Pirates are looking to turn 2. Weeks looking to do some damage. With 2 on and 1 out. And another inside move to second.
Yeah, not much speed on the bases right now for the Brewers, so don't expect them to be running on the 3-2 pitch.
Pitch count rising, only in the 4th. And Ricky takes ball 4, so the bases are loaded. And Clint Hurdle with decision time with his starting pitcher. Carlos Gomez will hit. And the Pirate pitching coach, Ray Searage, is on his way back to the mound. His 2nd visit of this game.
Hey, Spring Madness is hitting the Brewers on May 27th through the 29th. All tickets $30 and less or half price, plus small Pepsi products and Clements hot dogs are just $1. These seats include Loge outfield, terrace box, terrace reserved, field bleachers, Loge bleachers, and Bernie's Terrace. Former Brewer left-hander Ray Searage.
Current Pirate pitching coach.
Ray had a good fastball now. Fastball slider for Ray. He was a reliever.
Part of Clint Hurdle's staff. There's another former Brewer coach on Hurdle's staff, Nick Leyva, who is the 3rd base coach, handles the infielders.
Cuz.
Saw Cuz today. Always a smile on his face. Well, a big spot here in the 4th inning. Boy, this one is trudging along, but the Brewers can do some damage. They have the lead. Gallardo drove in the go-ahead run with a single. Now Gomez is up. He struck out with men on his last time up.
And McDonald's giving him a lot of fastballs to hit, and very hittable fastballs. That was a fastball down, right down the heart of the plate.
Change up in there for a strike. And it's 0-2 on Gomez. Got Lucroy at 3rd. He walked. Gallardo singled, drove in the go-ahead run, and Weeks over at first. Braun would be next. Gomez at the very least trying to get one to the outfield. It's going to take something medium deep to get Lucroy home. The 0-2, and Gomez fouls it away.
Well, Andrew McCutchen is playing very deep out in center field. Tabata in left, rather shallow. Yeah, just shortening up, just trying to get a piece of it. McDonald able to throw it by him.
Another 0-2 pitch from McDonald. And he got him. Gomez strikes out. Boy, he has left a ton on base tonight. Gomez stranding 5 already in this game.
Well, first pitch was his best one to hit. Lost the fastball right down the middle. And then the changeup on the outside corner. Good pitch. He fought off a fastball and then got him on the curveball down in the dirt. So Gomez saw all 3 of McDonald's pitches in that at bat.
Now Braun is up there with 2 away. Braun with an RBI his last time up, reached on a fielder's choice. He is hitless tonight, but he has been on twice and 2 stolen bases. One of Ryan Braun's more famous grand slams, one of his more famous home runs, was a grand slam against the Pirates in 08. Down the stretch run in late September. Has 3 in his career. Brewers would take a base hit. And it's ripped into center field. A base knock. Lucroy in. Here comes Gallardo. Weeks on his way to third. 2 runs in for Milwaukee as Braun delivers. A 2-out, 2 RBI single for Ryan Braun, and it's 5-2 Brewers.
Hey, you get this guy into a fastball count and he becomes very hittable, and that's what Ryan was able to do. Change up first pitch, and then the fastball up in the zone, and Ryan able to center on it and drive in a couple. Yovani Gallardo out at second base. He's able to score easily because Andrew McCutchen is playing about as deep in center field as you'll see any center fielder play.
And we'll see if Braun is on the move here with 2 away. First and third, Fielder at the plate. And remember that conversation that Ron Renicky was having with Prince Fielder. Certainly discussing offensive strategy with McDonald. Be interesting to see what that talk was all about after the game.
How about Yo tonight, huh?
Yeah, big hit for Gallardo.
Scored 2 runs, 2 for 2.
And an RBI. 3 balls, no strikes on Fielder.
And doesn't want any part of him, does he?
No, the end is near for Prince Fielder, or rather for James McDonald. And you wonder if Hurdle is going to allow McDonald to face McGee if he lets Fielder get away. Swinging away, 3-0. Fielder late on the fastball. And the Pirates manager pacing in the dugout. Another one by him. Full count to Fielder.
Yeah, Prince trying to hit one to the moon right now. A little bit over swing, I would say. And on a pitch that ordinarily Prince is going to be able to hammer hard somewhere in the center field.
Three runs are in. Brewers lead 5-2. McDonald steps off, and the Pirates, with 2 strikes now, put a shift on with Fielder at the plate. Braun will be on the move with the pitch. There he goes, the 3-2, swung on and missed. Fielder chased ball 4. The inning is over. 2 are left, but the Brewers score 3, and a big hit from Ryan Braun and Giovanni Gallardo.
Brewers with a 3-run lead over the Pittsburgh Pirates, and tonight's Carrot of the Game winner is the Waterfront in Kewanee. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Sounds nice. The Waterfront. Have to check that out. Have you? Is that on your list? In Kewanee?
List of what? Bars I've attended?
Yeah, I mean, you're usually operating at about a 75% rate on our Tavern of the Game. Oh, I've been there.
And I say that proudly. Got to patronize the mom and pop shops in Milwaukee and Wisconsin. Right?
Absolutely.
Just doing my part.
5-2 Milwaukee. They scored 3 in the bottom of the 4th. McCutchen leads off again. 3rd time he has led off in this game. He has had no base runners in front of him. Clint Hurdle has the same discussion with his people that Ron Renicky does concerning Ricky Weeks. You know, you have a run producer and a power hitter in McCutchen. You put him in the leadoff spot, you're going to limit those opportunities a great deal, especially in the National League with the pitcher batting ninth. McCutchen chases one out of the strike zone, and Gallardo has his 4th of the game.
Well, 30th strikeout by Andrew McCutchen. That's certainly not something you want to see out of your leadoff hitter, but sometimes you're somewhat forced. Ricky's a guy that's going to strike out quite a bit, but Ricky's on base percentage is, you know, around 370. You know, 370, 380. McCutchen's down to about 330. A big difference.
Yep. Jose Tabata now. Gallardo trying to quicken the pace of this game a little bit. He could use a quick, clean inning after the Brewers scored 3 in the bottom of the 4th, and Gallardo drove in the first of the 3 in that frame. Tabata walked and stole a base in the 3rd. That was the play. It looked like Gallardo had him picked off. Tabata was in a rundown, and second base umpire Chris Conroy said that Tabata avoided a tag from Yuniesky Betancourt. Replay showed otherwise. Big chopper. That is over the head of McGee, and a base hit. Tabata on his way to second base. Braun's throw is late. That's a hustle double for Jose Tabata.
And not much you can do about that. Pretty good pitch by Gallardo, but Tabata able to beat it into the ground in front of home plate. Took that big hop. Bingo right over Casey's head. No, Casey playing even with the bag, thinking that Tabata might drop down a bunt. That's why he was able to get over his head and down the line for a double.
A 1-out double. And it's Garrett Jones now. There's a strike from Gallardo. A lot of baseball tonight. Everybody either underway or underway a little bit later. A number of finals in as well. The Cubs beat the Giants today at Wrigley 11-4. Ryan Dempster won for just the second time. Madison Bumgarner is now 0-6 for the Giants. The star of the postseason last year, and his rookie season has gone winless this year.
I wonder how that can be. That guy's got some good stuff.
Yeah, he does.
And he really keeps the ball down and throws a lot of strikes.
Big cut from Jones, and it's 1-2.
Not too many of the Giants pitchers are struggling, though. They've got a team ERA at 3.15.
Yeah, the Giants are hot. They just won 6 in a row on their recent homestand. Swept their homestand and are back in first in the National League West. They lead the Rockies by a game. Colorado is hosting San Diego tonight, and the Rockies are up 5-2. Fast start for Colorado. That game's in the bottom of the fourth with a 5-2 Rockies lead. Seems like it's going to come down to the Giants and the Rockies. There's a cut and a miss. Gallardo again with a high fastball picks up his second strikeout of the inning on that pitch, and that is number 5 for Giovanni. Back to our AT&T trivia. Before Prince Fielder, who was the last Brewers player to start opening day at first base. And if you said Lyle Overbay in 05, you would be correct. Fielder took over in 06. Neil Walker with 2 gone and a runner at second. And again, Walker is up there with a runner in scoring position. Gallardo got him to ground out in that spot in the 3rd inning. Tabata with a double. Another bouncer to Weeks. Almost the identical ground ball, and Weeks takes care of Walker. Gallardo a scoreless 5th. We're on our way to the home 5th. The Brewers are coming up. Fans, vote for your favorite Brewers for the 2011 All-Star team, and you'll be eligible to win great prizes, including a night in Ryan Braun's suite with a visit from Ryan himself. For details, visit brewers.com/all-star. Vote early, vote often, and most importantly, vote Brewers. Roof is closed tonight. The Brewers have the lead against the Pirates. First game of a 3-game series. The homestand will conclude on Sunday with Zach Greinke on the mound. And then the Brewers go out for 4 to Los Angeles and San Diego, as you see the new Pirate pitcher Jose Escanio in relief of James McDonald.
A short start for the Pirates. Not a good way to start the series. Only 4 innings for James McDonald.
Escanio will face Casey McGee to start it. McGee with a couple of strikeouts on his line.
Escanio reinstated from the disabled list. He was on AAA rehab. Came back on Wednesday. He was rehabbing from right shoulder surgery performed back in 2009.
Final numbers on James McDonald. He strikes out 7, but worked at a very slow pace and gave up 5 earned runs in 4 innings. There's a strike, and it's 0-2. Five runs, 6 hits for Milwaukee. And down goes McGee. So the 3rd strikeout for Casey McGee tonight. He's having a rough night at the office.
Hey, on Sunday, May 22nd against the Rockies, all fans in attendance will receive a Casey McGee bobblehead courtesy of the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com for tickets.
Here's Corey Hart, who doubled and scored in the 4th inning. 3 runs in the 4th for the Brewers. There's a breaking ball for a strike. Hart back in the 6-hole tonight. I think ideally, speaking of the 2-hole, Renicky would like to get Corey Hart back in that spot. And if he keeps swinging the bat well, you'll probably see him back there at some point. It's hard to argue with the numbers that Hart posted last year, hitting primarily in the 2 spot in the order.
Well, we've talked about that for a couple of years now, that you're not going to find a much better spot in a batting order anywhere, in front of Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder. And Corey Hart flourished in that spot.
And down goes Hart.
That's a good breaking ball right there. Escanio throws hard. He had that shoulder surgery in October of 2009. He throws hard. He's got a good slider. He'll throw a changeup from time to time. And Pirates have a number of pretty good arms coming out of that bullpen. They do.
Yeah, their bullpen has been one of the main reasons they've been able to hover around 500. They're not getting much offense, but their bullpen has been terrific.
Their bullpen has a 2.99 earned run average. Yeah, they've been good. They can throw hard.
And Joe Hanrahan is their closer. He's one of the hardest throwers in the league. It's a guy you don't want to have to face when you need some runs. Betancourt with 2 outs. Quickly 0-2 as Escanio is throwing a ton of strikes in this 5th inning. 8 of his 10 pitches so far have been in the strike zone. Uni just got a piece. Betancourt is hitless tonight. He's 0 for 2. Gallardo and Will Nieves talking it over. How many pitchers are thinking that far ahead for the scouting report as Betancourt bounces one over to Cedeno? And that's the inning. 1-2-3 inning. The Brewers go in order, and we're headed to the 6th at Miller Park. 5-2 Brewers. Beautiful Miller Park, and a reminder that this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Brewers and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers. Good crowd tonight seeing Giovanni Gallardo, the opening day starter for Milwaukee. A 2-run home run. The scoring blow for the Pirates tonight. It was delivered by Ronnie Cedeno. Gallardo with 5 strikeouts as he starts his 6th inning. And Alvarez hacking away at the first pitch. Flies out to Ryan Braun, out number 1.
Yeah, Pirates will do that. They like to hack first pitch. You saw that for the Padres when they were in town for 3 games. Got to be careful with first pitch fastballs, but Yo able to get that one by him. 98 pitches for Gallardo with 1 out in the 6th.
And here is Lyle Overbay. Overbay singled and scored in the 4th inning. Had a 1-out single in that inning. And was aboard when Cedeno went deep on a hanging curveball. Gallardo hasn't made many mistakes tonight, but that was one of them. There's Marco Estrada. In case Gallardo cannot get through this 6th inning. Now the way Estrada's throwing the baseball, you figure he's starting to push his way in some deeper innings, some bigger innings out of the bullpen. A Lyle Overbay fan there.
Ron Rennick just needs some outs out of that bullpen. Those guys have been worked quite a bit last road trip and first part of this homestand. Marco Estrada has opened a lot of eyes this year. He's thrown well.
Hot one under the glove of Ricky Weeks and a base hit. So Overbay with a couple of hits against Gallardo tonight.
Hey fans, do you have a favorite player that works hard and has an aggressive approach to playing the game? Cast your vote for the We Energies High Energy Player of the Year by visiting Brewers.com/We Energies.
Well, a base runner with 1 away for Chris Snyder. Remember during Gallardo's last start, he went to this old school look with the pant legs up to the knees. He actually borrowed Marco Estrada's pants. It's just a guess, but I'm pretty sure he was able to come up with his own pants, but a more tailored version.
Yeah, because Marco needed some pants for tonight.
Clearly has pants on, and they're the long pants, so maybe they just did a straight swap. Little swapsies. McGee got a chance for 2 here. The second for 1, Weeks the turn in time. And Gallardo is through 6. A well-timed double play for Milwaukee. They go around the horn. 5-4-3. 5-2 Milwaukee. The Wisconsin Lottery reminding you to please play responsibly. By Airtran, go, there's nothing stopping you. And by the Miller Lite Vortex bottle, taste greatness. Just a reminder, you can log on to foxsportswisconsin.com. Bill Huber caught up with former Packer player and coach Forrest Gregg on this week's tailgate tour. Gregg reminisces when he coached the team during the 1987 strike and the similarities and differences today. Read that story and more. Log on to foxsportswisconsin.com. The famous racing sausages doing their thing in the 6th inning. And the Brewers coming up here at Miller Park as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 5-2 Crew. And it's Dan Moskos who will pitch for the Pirates.
Well, working predominantly out of the bullpen down in the minor leagues. Recently recalled. Off to a decent start. 2 1/3 innings so far. Not much of a sample size. Made his major league debut back on April 30th.
And he deals a strike to Jonathan Lucroy. Moskos and Joe Beimel, the left-handers in the Pirates bullpen. So Jose Escanio goes a clean inning with 2 strikeouts, a 1-2-3 frame.
I don't think any Brewers are sorry to see him out of the game. Escanio looked good.
Lucroy, left center field. McCutchen on the run. And he'll run it down for the out. Lucroy hit it hard, but the wrong part of the ballpark. 1 gone in the 6th. Here's Gallardo, got a nice hand. Well, he's done some damage at the plate tonight. Giovanni with 2 hits, 2 runs scored, an RBI.
And you wonder if he's going to go back out there and pitch the way he's been swinging the bat. Why pinch hit for him even if he's not going to pitch the 7th? Estrada continues to throw out there in the bullpen.
Ball and 2 strikes on Gallardo. His RBI in the 4th inning gave the Brewers the lead. It snapped a 2-2 tie. Giovanni's 3rd ribby of the season. Randy Wolf and Chris Narveson. Always interested to see what their starting rotation mate does at the plate. And a pop up in the infield. 2 out. Top of the order now. Don't forget tomorrow's second game of the series. We're on the air at 2:30. It is a 3:10 first pitch tomorrow. A little bit of an unusual start time. The Fox network is in prime time tomorrow, and Brewers will work around that schedule. They have the exclusive window for their national broadcast, so tomorrow's game is at 3:10 with a 2:30 airtime. If you're wondering why the unusual Saturday start time. And it'll be Chris Narveson tomorrow against Jeff Karstens for the Pirates. Speaking of dust-ups, Jeff Karstens has started a few.
Yeah, with Ryan Braun. Yeah, Brewers and Pirates have mixed it up a little bit. Remember the old Jason Kendall Pirate situation back a few years ago?
Yeah.
What was that Kendall called the pitching coach?
Joe Kerrigan. I'm
Joe
trying
Kerrigan
to remember. It's
call.
driving me crazy. It was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. And he. Whoa, man, that's a killer. What was it?
Joe something.
Yeah, he called him something, you know. Just some throwaway generic name, and reporters tried to correct Kendall. Say, no, his name's Joe Kerrigan. He goes, no, he's not. He's this name.
Right.
Basically thumbing his nose at the Pirate pitching coach. That was good fun. Weeks draws the walk. Just strolling down memory lane. Yeah, it was Dave Kerwin is what he called him.
Yeah, okay.
I just thought of that. Just came to me.
Yeah, it came to me too. I heard the same thing.
Did it come to you in your left ear, like the left side of your brain? That's what I.
Yeah, Dave Kerwin. That was what it was.
Dave Kerwin. Who's
no
Dave?
Longer here now. Ray Surge is the hitting coach, or the pitching coach.
Mm-hmm. Dave Kerwin. No, Jason, it's Joe Kerrigan. No, I said his name's Dave Kerwin. Here's Gomez with 2 away. Weeks aboard. Carlos has had a frustrating day at the plate. 0 for 3. And he has left 5 runners on base. The Brewers have 5 runs in this game, but they've left 5 on through the first 5 innings.
Yeah, Brewers 2 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight. I'll make that 2 for 9. But the 2 hits have driven in 3 runs. Giovanni Gallardo and Ryan Braun both coming in the 4th inning.
Lucroy homered in the 3rd to get the Brewers on the board first. And a couple of home runs tonight. Cedeno for the Pirates and Lucroy. And it's 0-2 on Gomez. And you can right there see exactly what he has been working on.
Down and through.
Trying to get away from the shoulder pulling out.
Yeah, once that shoulder goes, the bat can do nothing but go up. Down and up instead of down and through.
Laid off a pretty good changeup from Moscas.
Moscas has a pretty good move over there at first base, which is why Ricky's having a tough time reading it. Well, you know that Ricky would like to steal a base. Much tougher against a lefty.
And Gomez takes one just off the plate. Pretty good fastball from Moscas. And it's 2-2. Braun would be next.
This is why this spot in the batting order is so good for a hitter. You know that they don't want to deal with Brawny. So Gomez is going to get something to hit.
And Gomez launches one foul. Got way out in front of it. Sends it into the Lowe's level.
That breaking ball ended up down in the zone. That guy right there and Prince Fielder make the #2 spot in that batting order very desirable.
And so important. There's a lot of big innings if that 2-hitter can keep the line moving, as they say. 2-2 pitch, and Gomez to right field, a base hit. Ricky Weeks on his way to third. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. And that's what you're talking about. Gomez has been waiting for that one. That has to feel good for him.
That fastball up, and he's able to stay back long enough. Talking about getting on top of that high fastball. Nice level swing that time by Gomez, and able to shoot it into right field. No way you can hit a high fastball when you're uppercutting. He didn't do it that time.
And what you like from Gomez, the fact that he yanked one foul. You know, he pulled off one and pulled it foul. The next pitch he stays right on it. And if he does that, man.
Belled high, let the ball travel, and a nice level swing, and shoots it into right field.
It can be a game changer in this lineup. Whether he can pull it off, that's a different question. Now Braun is up there with 2 on. Ryan has 3 RBIs tonight. He singled in a pair with 2 outs in the 4th. And an RBI on a fielder's choice in the 3rd inning. Braun now with 28 runs batted in. He is 1 behind Fielder for the club high. Bouncing ball, backhanded by Cedeno. Throw to second just in time to get Carlos Gomez. The inning is over. The Brewers strand 2 more. And it's 5-2 Milwaukee. We go to the 7th.
The Brewers are going to the board in the bottom of the third thanks to Jonathan Lucroy's second home run of the season. And then Ryan Braun will pick up one of his 3 RBIs on that fielder's choice to make it a 2-0 game. In the fourth, Giovanni Gallardo helps out his own cause with an RBI single up the middle to untie a 2-2 ball game. And then Ryan Braun's 2 RBI single would make it a 5-2 game. And that's where we stand in the top of the 7th. Giovanni's out of the game. Marco Estrada will work the 7th inning. BA.
All right, Telly, thank you. As we go to the Pittsburgh half of the 7th, and there is Estrada. And he has the new look now that he's in the bullpen. 7 games for Marco. The ERA is a little bit deceiving. It's not bad at 4.5, but not indicative of how well he's been pitching.
Yeah, he plays very well out of that starting rotation, but this is his 4th appearance out of the bullpen, and in his first 3 has been unscored upon. So he has done a nice job and is starting to get some very important innings out of Ron Renick's bullpen.
Estrada had a 7 earned run game in his final start, which skewed the numbers a bit, but boy, the Brewers counted on him desperately in the early going in the absence of Zach Greinke, and Estrada really gave him a lift filling in for Greinke. And he has earned more opportunities. The fact that he's even in the big leagues gives you an idea of how good he has been. He has truthfully been pitching with the wolf at the door, right? Every time out from mid-March.
A non-roster, non-invitee to spring training to start out. I mean, that's the long shot for Estrada this year, but with all the injuries and guys that were given an opportunity not able to get the job done, Estrada earned his spot and pitched so well that the Brewers had to keep him. He was getting too many people out.
Ronnie Cedeno homered in the 4th inning. He tied the game with a 2-run home run. And he waves at a breaking ball. Estrada strikes out Cedeno to start the 7th.
Yep, back-to-back breaking pitches by Estrada. The first one just missed. This one thrown a little bit harder, a little bit more off the plate and away, and Cedeno with a defensive swing. It's a good pitch. Got more and more confidence in that breaking pitch. It was early on fastball changeup for Estrada, but the breaking ball has been a good one.
Estrada will face a pinch hitter, Steve Pearce, hitting for the pitcher Moscas. He's been good off the bench for Clint Hurdle. He is 3 for 10 as a pinch hitter this year. Batting with 1 away. 5-2 Milwaukee, and did he go? Yes, he did, says Ed Hickox. Ball and a strike.
The thing that surprises you about Estrada is his velocity, and that time it fooled Steve Pearce. Gets it up there about 92, 93.
I talked to Estrada in St. Louis and just asked him about the season and some of the differences, and I asked him about the velocity. He said, the biggest difference for me anyway, I can pitch with confidence because I'm healthy. When you feel like you have your bullets and you can throw what you want when you want. He has good command anyway. As you see the final numbers on Gallardo, a long 30+ pitch 2nd inning led to the early exit, but 6 strong from Gallardo in just 2 runs.
Yeah, tough enough to compete at the major league level when you're feeling 100%. Nobody feels 100% throughout the entire season, but when you start out that way and you're not hampered by a bad arm, bad shoulder, it makes a big difference whether you're a position player or a pitcher.
Estrada was with the big league club last year and made a couple of good outings, then started to struggle, ended up on the disabled list for the rest of the season. Gets in on the hands of Pearce. And this is Betancourt in the grass. Out number 2. Saturday, May 28th, the UEFA Champions League final comes to Fox with a rematch of the '09 final as Barcelona looks for their 3rd championship in 6 years, while Man U looks to avenge their 0-9 defeat, claim their 2nd title in 4 years. Fox Sports exclusive coverage of UEFA Champions League final begins Saturday, 2 Eastern, 1 Central in HD. Here's McCutchen now with 2 outs. Back to the top of the order. McCutchen has not had an at-bat tonight with a runner on base. McCutchen is 0 for 3. Gallardo struck him out in the 5th, one of 5 Gallardo strikeouts.
McCutchen swinging and an awful lot of high fastballs tonight. Gallardo struck him out last time with fastballs around the head. Those are tough to square up on.
In the air, right field, slicing away from Hart and into the seats. As they take a tumble, Kid comes up with a ball. It's like a rugby scrum right there. He came out with a ball. Good crowd tonight on a Friday night. Expecting more of the same tomorrow and Sunday. Hope you'll make plans to be with us. Just a great place to watch a ball game. A change up from Estrada. Evens accounted 2-2 on Andrew McCutchen. On the ground, Betancourt sets his feet, fires to fielder in time. Marco Estrada, 3 up and 3 down. We head to the home 7th.
David and Craig back with you at Miller Park. We're getting set for Brewers Live postgame. So far, so good. And we're going to focus in on the 8-9 hitters, if you will. Lucroy and Yo in this game. Davey getting on base 4 times, scoring 4 runs. Pretty good battery mates as well. Yo set up for a win tonight.
Well, that's what you'd like to see. It really brings a lot of balance in the bottom of that lineup. with Lucroy and Yo scoring 4 of the 5 runs.
And they're setting themselves up for a second consecutive victory by Yo in another well-pitched game.
Yeah, that's right. He certainly did. And Yo kind of got out of sync in that 4th inning, or in the 2nd inning, but Lucroy really settled him down.
All right, we hope to catch up with those guys post-game wise, get inside the Brewer clubhouse as well. Ron Renicky, and also our instructional coming up after the ball game, guys, on Brewers Live.
All right, Craig, Davey, thank you. Looking forward to Brewers Live as you see Chris Resop in the game for the Pirates. And he is already the 3rd reliever used by Clint Hurdle. Resop will take over the 7th, and he'll have Prince Fielder to start it out.
Yeah, control pitcher is Resop. He's got a pretty good curveball. He's allowed only 1 home run. The opponent batting average is not too bad, but 10 walks and 18 in the 3rd innings have not helped him too much.
Fielder is hitless tonight. He did walk in the 3rd inning. And a big shift. You see a lot of different kinds of shifts with Fielder at the plate, depending on the opposition. This is probably the most standard shift you see, with the second baseman all the way out there in the grass.
And this would be a time where you would think that Prince might think about just pushing the ball down the 3rd baseline, leading off an inning. You wouldn't see him do with 2 outs.
He pulls it right at Overbay, and the first out of the 7th inning. Now they're all tied in extra innings in Cincinnati. The Reds scored a run in the 9th to even it up. St. Louis had a 5-4 lead. Cardinals still having trouble in their late inning bullpen. That game's all tied at 5 now, and they move to the 10th inning. First place Cardinals at 22-16. The Reds at 20-17. St. Louis and Cincinnati, the only 2 teams in the Central Division over 500. Brewers start today 5.5 back of St. Louis. McGee a bouncer, and it's off the glove of Alvarez. And Casey McGee will be safe at first.
And another error committed by the Pirates. 2nd of the ball game.
There's their 29th error of the season.
Yeah. Well, relatively young at 2nd, relatively young at 3rd. You can't say that it's short at 1st. They tried to play the in-between hop, rolled right up the glove, and an E5.
That's a ball you have to go get. If you don't get the big hop, it's going to eat you up just like it did in an error on Alvarez.
The same thing that happened to Overbay.
That's the thing about watching some of the great defensive 3rd basemen in the league. Guys like Scott Rowland, Brian Zimmerman. They always make sure they get to the hop they can handle, which is why they're so good. It's about reading the ball, reading the spin, understanding where you have to be.
Yep. That's all preparation, and playing hitters in a certain spot. It's tough to play a hitter based on rolling over on a pitch, get that top spin, but the more you're over there, the more you know what a baseball is going to do when it comes at you. But definitely, plays that should be made.
Hart lays off. Ball and 2 strikes on Corey Hart. He doubled and scored in the 4th. 1 for 3 tonight. Over to 3rd. Alvarez to 2nd. Almost threw that one away. Hart legs it out to avoid the double play. It's an awkward turn on the poor throw from Alvarez. Otherwise, the Pirates might have a shot.
It's so important to put that baseball right at the chest of the defender coming over. In this case, it's Neil Walker. 3rd baseman has to get rid of it before he's actually at 2nd base. But in defense of Alvarez, it didn't look like that bad of a throw. And, you know, if you're Walker, you have to be prepared for a throw a little bit off the mark. And it didn't appear that he was. He was expecting the perfect throw, had to reach for it, and cost him the double play.
Yeah, good point. Well, we'll see if Betancourt can do something with it. Strike one from Risa.
Have to get to that bag at second base under control. You cannot assume a perfect throw.
Big cut from Betancourt. He's having a tough day at the plate too. He's 0 for 3. Had a chance at an RBI in the 4th inning, grounded out to 3rd. LaTroy Hawkins looks like he's preparing for the 8th inning. Pirates will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up in their lineup. Mets are making a comeback in Houston tonight. They scored 4 runs in the 8th. They now have a 5-4 lead over the Astros. Big news today. Drayton McClain, the owner of the Astros, announcing that there is a sale in place of the Houston Astros. So they could turn over their ownership group this year. Hart takes off. Betancourt over to 3rd. Alvarez makes the play, and the inning is over. We go to the 8th. 5-2 Crew. To the 8th inning here, and just a reminder, our Miller Lite, what's on tap? We're on the air at 2:30 tomorrow. That is a 3:10 first pitch. Game 2 against the Pirates on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Then the Pirates are here Sunday to wrap it up. Zach Greinke on the mound Sunday, and then the Brewers heading to Los Angeles on Monday. And the pitching matchup tomorrow, it'll be Narveson against Jeff Karstens. And remember, back at 09, Karstens, after hitting Ryan Braun, got drilled by Chris Smith, and then that was the altercation a couple of years ago. And a little bit of close talking here tonight that cleared the benches. Much ado about nothing, but there's always that underlying issue between these two teams, the Pirates and the Brewers. So you never know.
It looked to me like Ricky was just trying to, do a spin move, maybe avoid a tag.
It's always fun to bring up that video and just watch Jason Kendall go nuts.
Aren't the coaches supposed to be, peacemakers?
Not that year.
Not Dave Kerwin.
Also known as Joe Kerrigan. Jose Talbot leads off, and Rock, how about Marco Estrada going back out for another inning?
Well, he pitched a 3-up, 3-down 7th inning, so giving him the opportunity. It'd be nice if you're Ron Renicky just to have Estrada pitch the 8th and then give the baseball to John Axford. Or even better yet, pitch the 8th, get some runs, and have Estrada finish.
Two balls, two strikes on Jose Tabata. Fastball, line center field. Gomez runs it down. Carlos Gomez made it look easy over the shoulder.
Yeah, that ball was hit right on the nose, and Tabata had some good late carry to that baseball. Gomez went back, and never a doubt. That's a nice swing by Tabata. Ball was slicing away from Gomez a little bit, but it didn't matter. Watch Gomez. He takes a good angle on that baseball and outruns it.
Well done. First out of the inning, and Estrada has retired 4 in a row. Puts it by Garrett Jones. A lot of swinging and missing at the fastball tonight, huh? Both teams.
Yeah. You figure the scouting report on Estrada, change-ups and breaking balls. There's that change-up.
That was a beauty.
Well, located down in the zone, has some movement going away from the left-handed batter. He's got enough to get the fastball by you, even if you're looking for it.
Didn't miss by much. Tried to go back with a fastball. Had a scoring change from last inning, Rock, if you like to keep the scorebook, which I know you do.
Yeah.
Casey McGee given credit for a hit. Take an error away from Alvarez. Strike called. Estrada rings up Garrett Jones. Out number 2, and the second strikeout for Marco Estrada.
Man, just pounds the strike zone with all 3 of his pitches, and that right at the bottom of the strike zone had plenty of the plate. A fastball and too close to take.
2 men are out. Estrada facing Neil Walker. Renicky had Stetter loosening for this potential confrontation, but now that Estrada has retired the first 2, he stays. Could be a big find. Rick Kranitz, Ron Renicky, they're searching for late outs out of that bullpen. And Estrada might be the guy. So you just never know with the bullpen. I remember the 08 season, the year the Brewers went to the playoffs. All kind of trouble with their closer situation with Eric Gagne. It ended up being Solomon Torres who saved the day in the bullpen for Milwaukee.
Yes, he did.
28 saves this year. And how about Marco Estrada? Another strikeout. Estrada 6 up, 6 down. Well done, Marco. Jonathan Lucroy in our spotlight tonight. He led off the third inning with a home run. His second homer of the year. It was the Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Lucroy with a couple of runs scored. He is 1 for 2 at the plate. Catching a good ball game tonight. Got Gallardo through 6. Estrada through 2 scoreless. And it's Jonathan Lucroy who leads off. Amazing how that happens. At the plate, presented by Wendy's, you see the night of Jonathan Lucroy.
8-9 spots in the batting order. How about them? 4 runs scored. They've been on 4 times.
Strike 1 to Lucroy. Jonathan's batting average at .329 after his 1 for 2 night tonight. And that one's back up the middle. Hits the bag. Great play by Walker, and the throw is in time. Terrific play by the Pirates second baseman.
Bad luck for Jonathan. That could have been his second hit. Good presence of mind and good awareness by Neil Walker. Check it out. Hits the bag, jumps up. Wow. Man, able to make a nice throw. Got rid of it quickly, put it right on the money.
Yeah, that was a beautiful play by Walker. Plenty of time to get Lucroy able to stay with the redirection after it hit the base. Craig Counsell pinch hitting for Estrada. What a job tonight by Marco Estrada. 2 scoreless, 6 up, 6 down. 3 strikeouts for Estrada.
Yeah, the wardrobe change has worked well for both Gallardo and Estrada.
That's right. Well, there's John Axford. Right now it's a save situation. Yeah, Gallardo trying to shake up his bad luck in St. Louis. Borrowed Marco Estrada's pants. And they swapped, and they've kept it going here. So it's working well for Giovanni, working well for Estrada in the bullpen. The test will be if Estrada is ever back in the rotation at all, as Counsell draws the walk on 4 straight pitches. I mean, here's a guy who has gone from just trying to help out and help the Brewers tread water a little bit to, I mean, he's in it now. He's a big part of it now.
Yeah. 7th and 8th innings, able to get through. 6 up, 6 down, and a 3-run game. Things can change quickly for you.
Top of the order, Ricky Weeks. He has doubled tonight. He's walked twice. Had a good night at the plate. Ricky Weeks with a runner at first. Trying to get Counsell on the move. And he takes off, and Weeks sends one into left center field. Counsell won't stop. He's on his way to third. Perfectly executed hit and run. First and third, 1 man out. Weeks with his second hit of the night.
Well, the Pirates tried to fool the Brewers. They had Cedeno, the shortstop, covering second base. He vacated his spot, and Ricky hit one right where he was. Boy, they hit and run. It was a beauty. Now watch Cedeno, the shortstop. He's going to cover the bag, and watch where Ricky puts it. Right where he was. He might have been able to catch it. The count's able to cruise into second base or third base.
And again, Carlos Gomez is up with runners on base. Gomez singled his last time up. Shot one over to right field. And the Brewers can add to their lead. We'll see if Weeks wants to run here. Now, hopefully the at-bat that Gomez put together in the 6th inning will be the one that gets him going a little bit. That was a beautiful at-bat. He fought some pitches off, got deep in a count, finally ended up with a single to right field.
And sometimes that's all it takes. I mean, one at bat, one pitch, and you find yourself into a hot streak. Sometimes by taking a pitch or walking, you get that confidence to see the baseball. We'll see with Gomez.
And a good cut, 0-2 the count. With Gomez, it's so much about not necessarily confidence. He's a confident player. He believes in his abilities, but it's, when Gomez struggles, he tries to push too hard. He goes the opposite way. Less is more in this game, typically.
I think sometimes Gomez gets caught up in the excitement too. It's one thing you can't do when you're up there at the plate. You got to stay very relaxed, very calm.
And down he goes. So chased one that time. Gomez has had a rough night with runners on. He is 1 for 5 tonight. That's his 3rd strikeout, and he has stranded 7 base runners tonight.
Tough time with the heater. The one fastball that he hit into right field, but other than that, he's been behind the fastball tonight. Resop getting it up there 96, 97.
They got a lot of arms in this bullpen.
I mean, that's a good arm. Not many guys come out firing that hard.
So it sets the stage again for Ryan Braun, who could turn a good night into a great night. He's driven in 3 already. And a spinner for a strike. At this point, Braun, our Menards player of the game, has just the 1 hit, but it was a big one. Drove in 2 runs in the 4th. The Brewers had a 3-2 lead at the time. And he put it to the score where it is now. Brewers took 2 out of 3 from the Padres to start this homestand. Started the day 5 games under 500. A lot of work to do, but a lot of games at home coming up. The Brewers play well. As a matter of fact, the Brewers are in a long stretch here at home. 15 of 19 games at Miller Park. This is the 4th in that stretch. A good cut. Braun down on the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the Brewers 10-6 before tonight at home, but only 6-15 on the road. It's tied for the fewest wins of any team in the National League on the road. Actually, the Diamondbacks only have 5 wins.
Wow. That's the thing about the Pirates. They've been good on the road this year. 11-8 is their record for a team that struggled so badly on the road last year. Braun cuts through it, a foul tip into the mid of Snyder, and a strikeout for Resop. So the stage is set for Axford. A save opportunity coming up. Jonathan Axford, his entrance into Miller Park, a save situation coming up on a night when the Reds have beaten the Cardinals in extra innings. The first place Cardinals. Now the Brewers trying to chip one off in the National League Central. Axford, the numbers, he is 7 for 9 in save situations. And it's Pedro Alvarez who starts it off, and a good fastball to get him going.
Yep, hasn't allowed an earned run in 9 home appearances this year. He's got 7 saves. Tough act to follow after Marco Estrada.
Estrada, very impressive. 6 up and 6 down. Estrada bridged the gap. Gallardo went 6, 2 runs. Gave up a 2-run homer to Ronnie Cedeno. That has been the extent of the offense for the Buccos tonight. And Estrada not only worked a scoreless 7th inning, but allowed Ron Renicky to send him out for an 8th because it was such a clean inning. Anytime you can buy another day for your bullpen, you'll take it. As Alvarez swings and misses, and Lucroy puts the tag on him. Nicely done to secure the strikeout. 1 gone for John Axford.
Yeah, good job by Jonathan Lucroy. Able to block that pitch in the dirt. Yeah, the home plate umpire, Alfonso Marquez, gave the out call after he reached for him as he ran down the line. The first base umpire did not. So he threw it anyway to make sure.
Axford has his first K. The Brewers tonight, their pitching staff with 9 strikeouts. Here's Overbay. Don't forget, we're on the air tomorrow at 2:30. Unusual Saturday start time at Miller Park, right here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Blistering fastball in there, his best so far. Three RBI day from Ryan Braun. Jonathan Lucroy with a home run tonight. Bouncing ball to Betancourt. Plenty of time. 2 outs. On their feet for Axford, over 32,000. 32,837 the official attendance tonight. Pirates down to their last out. Xavier Paul will hit. And Axford pumping in the strikes tonight, partner.
No, and that's the key. Yeah, able to pump strikes with something other than that fastball, but when he gets ahead, able to keep that curveball down in the zone.
Another one. 0-2 the count. Axford has thrown 7 pitches in this inning. 6 of them for strikes. On 2 on Xavier Paul, Pittsburgh's last hope. Got him. Axford strikes him out. Save number 8 for John Axford and the Brewers. A winner tonight against the Pittsburgh Pirates. 5-2 the final score. Gallardo the winner, Axford the save. And much more still to come on this game as we check in with Craig Cashon. What do you have coming up for us on Brewers Live, Craig?